Begin our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everybody. I'm going to begin with the Ethics Awareness and Conflict of Interest Reminder. In accordance with the State Government Ethics Act, it's the duty of every council member to avoid both conflicts of interest and the appearance of conflict. If any council member has any known conflict of interest or is aware of facts that might create the appearance of such a conflict with respect to any matters coming before the council today, please identify the conflict or the facts that might create the appearance of a conflict to ensure that any inappropriate participation in that matter may be avoided. And if at any time any new matter raises a conflict during the meeting, please be sure to identify it at that time. You have been distributed the minutes from the February 6th meeting. Do I have a motion for approval? So moved. Treasurer Falwell moves to approve. Is there a second? Second by Auditor Holmes. Is there discussion or debate? Hearing none. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it. The minutes are approved. Thank you. We'll now have interest matters. Treasurer Falwell.
Thank you, Governor. The interest report for this month shows an interest rate of 4.45%, and that's the interest report.
Thank you, sir. We'll now have fire insurance matters for Insurance Commissioner Causey.
Thank you, Governor. The fire fund condition on page 1, the fund balance at the end of February was a little over $38 million. And on the next page 2, there are 5 items that need to be paid. 2 are the NC State fires. 1 substantial amount is the Centennial substation fire back 3 years ago for $5.6 million. And Highway Patrol had some wind damage of towers, and the NC State Bar, I move we pay those 5 items.
Motion by Commissioner Causey to approve those 5 items. Is there a second? Second. Second from Commissioner Troxler. Is there further discussion or debate? Secretary?
Does the state own the State Bar building? Our building? The State Bar building.
I think it's like a 99-year lease, something like that.
So
I don't know what the insurance arrangement is, however. Anybody know the answer to that
Do you
question?
know anything, Tim, about
I'll confirm that, but it falls under the State Property Fire Insurance Fund, and it would have to have some type of correlation with the state ownership. I'll confirm that for you.
Do you have any concern about removing that at this point? I can't imagine that it wouldn't be here if.
yeah, I can't, but I'm just trying to figure out the legal, because I know if they raised the money to do the building,
Right.
a long-term cheap lease for the land. So how do we get in the insurance building coverage on their building?
Do you mind removing that from
Is there
today,
urgency?
Commissioner Causey, so we
that's
can
fine,
find?
that's fine, we can remove that, and Tim, you can check on.
Yeah, I'll confirm that.
That might be a good idea. Probably just fine, but probably wouldn't
It's
hurt.
interesting to know. Yeah.
Owners can afford to wait another month, right?
$7,000.
All right, then without objection, Commissioner Causey makes an amended motion to approve the 4 expenditures rather than the State Bar at this point. Second, Commissioner Troxler. Is there further discussion or debate? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it. Thank you, Commissioner Causey. We now have Board of Transportation right-of-way matters. Heather Fulgham.
Thank you, Governor. Good morning, Council. The Department of Transportation has 3 items for your consideration this morning. All items have been approved by the Secretary of Transportation and the Board of Transportation, and I'm glad to answer any questions about those items.
Any questions for Ms. Fulton? Do I have a motion for approval? Commissioner Troxel moves approval. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Lieutenant Governor Robinson. Is there further discussion or debate? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is approved. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
We now have Heather Horton with the Wanchese Industrial Park.
Good morning. Here on behalf of Wanchese Industrial Park regarding one item, a new lease. It's a 3-year lease effective April 1st with 2 5-year renewal options. It's for an organization that will provide boat repair and construction. This lease was approved by the Marine Authority Board at their February 15th meeting. Take any questions?
Are there questions for Ms. Horton?
Move approval.
Secretary of State Marshall moves approval.
Second.
Second. One question.
Quite, you got a question? Treasurer
With the
Paul.
tragic news out of Baltimore, we're hearing that port's going to be getting more activity. Is that anything that you have any subject matter expertise in?
I do not, but I will be glad to ask the executive director, Bob Hill.
Seems like the value of those leases would be going up if that is the case for a period of years. So, thank you.
I can find out.
Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Second from the Attorney General. Further discussion or debate? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion passes. We'll now hear from Tim Walton with State Property Matters.
Morning, Governor, members of the council. Before we start, I have one item I need to pull this morning on page 20. Acquisition by lease, item number 6. We'll be pulling that. Max Properties LLC. With that, I have 45 items for your consideration and 1 item for information this morning.
Are there questions for Mr. Walton? With these items having already been sent to each member. Do I have a motion for approval? Approval. Commissioner Troxel moves approval. Is there a second? Second by Secretary of State Marshall. Is there discussion or debate? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. The ayes have it. And just to clarify, this motion was minus item number 6 on page 20. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
We'll now have North Carolina State Bar, Mr. Peter Bullock.
Good morning. In regards to that first item, we'll make sure to get follow-up. I believe it's probably related to the contents of the building that were at state property. So it was a water damage that we'll follow up and get you guys more clarification. This matter is a lease renewal for the Lawyer Assistance Program in Charlotte, North Carolina. I've been here for this lease renewal multiple times. This is a 2-year lease, likely to see a higher rate increase at the next renewal, but we were able to keep the increases the same for this lease renewal.
Questions for Mr. Bullock? Do you have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Auditor Holmes moves approval. Is there a second to the motion? Second by Commissioner Causey. Is there discussion or debate? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion passes. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right, we'll now go to our roundtable. We'll recognize the Secretary of State first.
Governor. I'm sorry. 2 weeks ago today, we officially signed the 6th 5-year bilateral agreement renewal formally of the civilian partnership between North Carolina and Moldova. Thank you very much for signing the agreement in advance of this meeting with the Prime Minister. While we were marking the 25th anniversary of the partnership, we also had our eyes squarely on the future of Moldova and its desire to be a part of the European Union. The North Carolina-Moldova partnership is recognized by many as the strongest relationship to emerge from the Partnership for Peace, and the people-to-people diplomacy at its heart has never been more important than in this perilous moment in history. There have been many changes in the world since we signed the last Memorandum of Understanding in 2019. It should not be lost on anyone in this room that a relationship that grew out of the Partnership for Peace is now lending a hand to our friends there in Moldova as Russia's invasion of Ukraine tests democracy on the world stage. We were also confronted with a global pandemic in that time that permanently changed the way we work and live. The signing 2 weeks ago underlies the fact of one thing that has not and will not change, that the friendship between the people of North Carolina and Moldova survives. However, this partnership has never been about a piece of paper. It's been about people. It's been about the connections we've made, the synergies we've created to build a better future. Our relationship is now deep, mutual, and I believe permanent. The seed this state planted together with so much optimism, hope, and care as we signed that first agreement in 1999 has now grown into a thriving, mature tree with many branches. The partnership has facilitated many academic, health, cultural, and humanitarian exchanges between North Carolina and Moldova. There was a delegation of about 35 North Carolinians in Moldova 2 weeks ago. That's an all-time high. There was specific work done with the nursing partnership and the agriculture, technology, and agritourism areas, which are newer areas of collaboration. We can be an example at a time when the world needs to find more avenues to peace and prosperous coexistence. Finally, I encourage our federal elected officials to move forward with an aid package for Ukraine. That was one of the most important items on Moldova's agenda. Just about every minister that we spoke to spoke about that, because aid for Ukraine helps to protect expansion of Russia into neighboring Moldova. And it was quite a surprise to me there. No one on my staff knew, but after my visit with the president, Sandu, I was presented with the Order of the Republic. Much to my surprise, the Order of the Republic, the highest civilian honor that the country can give. And I accepted it on behalf of North Carolina and all of the people that have an open heart, willing participants, civilian, military, religious organizations, and just plain curious. All of the people who have participated in some way in the partnership. They are eternally grateful. I've never met a more grateful group of people. And the new agreement between North Carolina State and their agricultural university that just started in the fall is like on a rocket trajectory, because they know that added value from their agricultural products are going to be something that will have widespread implications on prosperity there. So I did see the president and spoke to him when he was in town this week regarding the message that I got from Moldovans about the need for the Ukraine package. And there's probably no one in this room that doesn't also understand why that's so important. Moldova's small. Moldova cannot protect itself, so it's going to require the help of the people of the United States and internationally. There's been a lot of international aid that came in. And I was gone for 2 weeks. The prior week, I was with a whole bunch of agriculture people, except the commissioner. You should have gone. You were invited, should have gone, to learn about flood mitigation and sustainable agriculture. I didn't know it, but maybe the commissioner did, that the United States is the #1 exporter of agricultural products. The #2 exporter of agricultural products is the Netherlands, and it's about teeny tiny. They manage very, very well. We visited the flower auction and so many of the enterprises. I'm not stealing your thunder, I don't guess, on this, but I think we had several legislators on the trip, and it was very significant in both avenues that are important to North Carolina, flood mitigation and agricultural sustainability. So, and my last pitch is for the office. April 15th is coming around the corner. If you have an LLC or a corporation and you need to file your annual report to renew, please do it electronically. That makes my job so much easier. But April 15th is the deadline, so get them on in, please.
Madam Secretary, thank you for your longtime work with the country of Moldova. That work has taken on added importance during this time of Russian aggression, how this small, independent, free country, deeply concerned about Russian aggression and influence, and positive relationships with North Carolina and the United States are important. And I've met Moldovan delegations several times, and they hold you in very, very high regard, which is obvious by that presentation. But thank you for that service.
Thank you.
Commissioner Troxler.
Governor, first, I do want to congratulate Secretary Marshall on the award from the Moldovan government. Quite an achievement for her, but she's been involved with them for how many years now?
25.
25 years. So this is not a relationship that started recently. And that was quite a trip for a lot of people. I know it included Secretary Marshall, my people from the department, the National Guard, Baptists on Mission. So it was a very good combination of people that can help them in this time of trial that they're going through. So, but I do congratulate her, and also thank her for going to the Netherlands on that trip. We have been to the Netherlands several times, and we've had a lot of people come over here from the Netherlands looking at North Carolina as a possible destination for moving some of the ag things that private individuals have been doing over there. The European, some of the European things that are going on with agriculture that has been protested in different areas of Europe or kind of in the Netherlands too. So there's a lot of discontent there, and we've developed a really good relationship with some of these people. So it's been good to not only learn from them about some of the things they've done, but also to maybe in the future have some of their people here actually engaging in business. So it's been a good thing. We in the department have got a lot going on with the dairy cattle incident that is in Texas, Kansas, Utah, and Michigan. We are taking proactive steps right now. The state vet has put out some things that we will be doing quickly. We'll see how this plays out. We certainly hope that this is not going to be a full-blown zoonotic disease that would severely hamper what we have to do in the case that high-path AI does get in the poultry flocks in the state. So we're working on it. There are a lot of unanswered questions right now. The good news is the food supply is safe. Pasteurization does take care of the virus during that process, but I would not want to be drinking raw milk right now, I can tell you that. So that it's just an added precaution that we need to take right now. Fresh strawberries are out there in North Carolina right now. They're not, fully flush as they will be in another couple of weeks, but they are just as good as you remember. So go get those fresh strawberries. And Governor, how about the pack? Men and women in the Final Four. That's amazing. So I hope everybody joins me in congratulating them for this accomplishment. And it's a good thing I'm not a betting man, because I don't know the men's team if I would have ever bet on them in any of the first 9 games. So, but I'm proud of them now.
Still an opportunity for you. Sure.
And don't forget the Got to Be NC Festival, May 17th, 18th, and 19th, coming to the fairgrounds. And of course, this is a can't miss event. So everybody plan to come out and enjoy yourself and celebrate spring and agriculture in North Carolina.
Thank you, sir. Treasurer Falwell.
Thank you, Governor. Congratulations, Secretary Marshall. I see where they were able to get the word folk in your resolution. So I don't know if that's your maiden name or if that's how they say things.
That's my maiden name.
Oh, yeah. So that was great for all the other words in there that I could not pronounce. So
I understand.
I keyed in on that one. So thank you, Governor. Nothing really to report from the Treasurer's Office. Yesterday, you probably read that the state health plan stopped covering the prescription of Wegovy. This is the weight loss drug that had the potential of costing the state health plan $170 million this year. Cynthia always says to try to put things in context, $170 million prescription for 22,000 people is about the same cost of a 4% bonus to 253,000 retirees. So to kind of put what $170 million is. I say that because our state health plan staff, as well as the Board of Trustees, has been working diligently for the last 5 months to try to come up with some solution so that we could continue to pay for the prescription of these Wegovy weight loss drugs. And every suggestion that we made, either to Eli Lilly or Novo Nordisk or our pharmacy benefit manager, every single one of those was rejected. Even the simplest ones like, let's take the BMI from 28 to 35 so that this drug can be prescribed for the people who most need it. So none of that happened. Since then, as you know, Governor, DHHS has talked about the virtue of Medicaid actually paying for this weight loss drug. So if you think in North Carolina, if you think $170 million is a lot to the state health plan, wait till you see the actuarial note on what this can cost Medicaid in the state, and now CMS Medicare is looking at covering this drug. So when you have a product that the ingredients of this product are in short supply, and then the demand for this product is going to be continuing, all you can expect is for the price of this to go up. So it's not a decision that the board took lightly. This same board who made this tough decision 5 years ago, before anybody was discussing these topics, voted to eliminate the cost of insulin and diabetes testing equipment for state employees. So we take obesity, we take insulin adherence, we take all these things very seriously. But when you have one drug that was being prescribed to 22,000 people, having the potential of doubling the individual premium for everyone else on the state health plan from $25 to $50, it's something that we have to mathematically take seriously. So that happened yesterday. We'll continue our negotiations with our pharmacy benefit manager and the two suppliers of this drug to try to get to the right outcome. And that's the news from the Treasurer's Office.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Causey.
Thank you, Governor. I am wearing my Wolfpack tie today in honor of the men's and women's basketball team making it to the Final Four. So congratulations to NC State. And I just want to say that there's two things. April is distracted driving month, so we've been focused on driver safety and trying to get people to keep both hands on the wheel and their eyes on the road and not be texting while driving. And it's also the third week in April is National Volunteer Week, April 21st through 27th. And it's a perfect time for us to say thank you to the many hundreds of thousands of volunteers, especially our volunteer firefighters across North Carolina, the volunteers in our civic clubs and churches and other organizations, Red Cross, YMCA. So thank you to all our volunteers. Thank you, Governor.
Attorney General Stein.
Thank you, Governor. Fentanyl tragically is continuing to kill people all across the state. On average today, 9 people will die of an overdose with fentanyl in their system. That was 9 people yesterday, 9 people tomorrow. Just devastating, because each one of these people are a brother, a sister, a child, a husband, a wife. It's heartbreaking. And so we need to do more. We need to do more on the demand side, which is people wanting these drugs, which is what the whole settlement that we worked out with the big drug companies is about, is to try to promote more treatment and recovery services here in the state, and we're making progress on that score. Of course, Medicaid expansion will be incredibly helpful to many people who can now afford treatment when they could not before. But we also have to work on the supply and constrain the supply. Congress doesn't get a lot of credit for getting things done these days, but they overcame their partisan divide last week, and in their budget for the year, they included $400 million for these non-intrusive inspection devices, which basically what it is like an x-ray machine you use at the airport, but it's for a truck. It goes over the whole truck, and it can detect fentanyl, and it's going to dramatically increase by orders of magnitude the number of these x-rays at the ports of entry, at the border. So we are excited that it's going to get more fentanyl off the streets before it comes to our communities, but we need to keep vigilant here. I did a press conference last week with Charlotte Meck Police Chief Johnny Jennings, the District Attorney District Attorney Merriweather, Sheriff McFadden, U.S. Attorney King, about the efforts of all of us at the local, state, and federal level to cooperate to do our level best to disrupt these drug trafficking networks that exist throughout the state. We want to increase the cost of doing business here so that there is fewer of these drug trafficking networks happening in our state, and therefore more people alive into the future.
Thanks, sir. Is Commissioner Dobson on the line? Commissioner,
I am, Governor.
floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Governor. Two quick things. One, I want to give a shout out to our elevator bureau chief, Tommy Petty, who recently retired with right at 20 years of service to the state. It's men and women like Tommy Petty who make the state better and really protect and serve the people of this state. So I want to give a shout out to him. Second thing, really quickly, the biggest NC State Wolfpack fan I know is my mother, and today is her birthday. So I would like to wish my mother a happy birthday, the biggest NC State Wolfpack fan I know. Thank you.
Where was the wolf howl?
Another time, Governor. Maybe on my last Council of State meeting.
All right. We'll remember that. Thank you, sir. Auditor Holmes.
First, I would like to start by joining in on the congratulations to Secretary Marshall. I think the word that you used was that Moldovians find you in high regard, and the reality is that we do as well here in North Carolina. And so congratulations on your long-term relationship with Moldova, and also your long-standing commitment to public service right here in North Carolina. As a double Tar Heel, it pains me to say congratulations to the teams that have made it to the Final Four. As someone who is born and bred here in North Carolina, I will always cheer for the home team. So there's that, and that's about all you're going to get out of me when it comes to that. But as to the business of the people, in the next few days, you all will hear more detailed information about the annual statewide single audit of federal awards. In 2023, North Carolina spent about $35 billion of federal funds, and that was distributed amongst about 618 programs across 103 different agencies, including our colleges and universities. So in the next couple of days, you all will be receiving much more detailed information about our findings in the statewide single audit, and it is timely. More than likely one of the few states that will actually have a timely submission, and so more details to come.
Thank you, ma'am. Lieutenant Governor Robinson.
A little bit more on a somber note. The Lexington fire chief who was fighting the fire passed away on Friday. His name was Ronnie Metcalf, and I looked it up because I wanted to make sure that I got it right. I didn't want to dishonor his memory. He died on Friday. He was in the hospital for 3 days with severe burns. And so, just thinking back on it while I was going to church Friday evening and then spending time with my family over the weekend, his family was holding vigil over his bed. And I think it highlights again how heroic these folks are to service in their uniforms, whether it be in the United States military, firefighter, police, EMS, no matter what it is. These folks literally are laying down their lives for us. And I think that today I would ask you, Governor, to close in honor of his memory.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all for getting the submissions to our state budget office. I know we're working feverishly to get a budget to present to the General Assembly. Kristen, do you have anything to add to today?
No, sir, just echo the thank you to your agencies for your work with us on the budget, and we look forward to continuing to work with y'all.
Yeah, thank you very much on that. And, you know, we are reminded, Lieutenant Governor Robinson, about our first line, first responders and the risks that they often take to keep us safe. And when you think about Captain Ronnie Metcalf and his wife Carol and his two children, Josh and Holly, you understand the sacrifice that they put forward when they go out there every day. So we will move to adjourn this meeting honoring the life and service of firefighter Captain Ronnie Metcalf of the Lexington Fire Department. And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much, folks.
Good to see you.
Yes, sir.
Here you go.